Hello and welcome to World Traveler Cooking, where we cover interesting foods and interesting cuisines from around the world. Today we're going to make rujak, which is an Indonesian sort of spicy fruit salad. I actually forgot to get one of the ingredients out, which is the chili pepper. We will use a fresh cabai rawit. If you're in the US, you could try substituting maybe a quarter of a habanero. Or less if you like it less spicy. But our ingredients today, we want fruits which are solid and not very squishy. So our mango is definitely not ripe. We add to this a jicama, an unripe guava. You can again use something else. You could probably substitute in an apple if you wanted. Very oftentimes they will use star fruit. Sometimes people add pineapple, but I didn't add them today. Additionally, very oftentimes people add something called water apple or jambu air, but they didn't have any of those at the store today, and if you're in the US you won't be able to find that, so use something else. And some people also add things like cucumber, so I'm going to add all of those. The sauce is made with peanuts. I have, I would say, maybe a quarter to half a cup of peanuts that I'm going to fry. Most of the recipes I've seen suggest a much smaller amount, but we will see how that goes. Tamarind. Use tamarind paste and we'll soak this in hot water. I'll use at least one of these pieces of coconut sugar. And a teaspoon of salt, maybe a tablespoon of sugar, and that'll be the sauce. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is fry up these peanuts, and then we'll go ahead and get to work making the sauce. Once the wok is hot, let's add a bit of oil, not a huge amount, and our peanuts. And we're just going to stir these around until they are nicely and dark roasted. Once these are nicely roasted, I'm just going to go ahead and put them in. So at this point we can grind them in a mortar and pestle. I'm actually going to use a hand blender. That may be a little bit more accessible for many Westerners. So I'm going to grind these first a bit, and then I'm going to add the chili pepper, then the sugar, the salt, that sort of thing. So I'll be back after I grind these up a bit. So if you look at it, you can see we've got these pretty much pulverized into a powder here. So next in goes this chili pepper, and I will go ahead and grind it into this, and then I'll be back. Next in goes this piece of sugar. And again, I will grind it in, and I'll be After back. Tasting, I've decided to add one more. And I'll be back once this is worked in. So at this point, I'm going to just work in a teaspoon of salt. And it will get worked in more. So next I'll make my, once the pulp can be peeled away from the seeds, I'm just going to go ahead and do that and separate the seeds off to the side. And I haven't decided if I'm actually going to run this through a sieve or not. Big thing is we really don't want these seeds in because they don't taste good, and if you grind the seeds into the rujak sauce, that's going to be bad. And we want a nice thick sweet and spicy peanut sauce, kind of like this. If it's too thin, you want to grind some more peanuts and blend them in. So this is what we're looking for. This is great. Now on to the fruit itself. So this guava I've cut up like this. You want these into relatively small bite-sized pieces. And I'm going to do the same thing with the star fruit now and the relatively unripe mango. People also use unripe papayas, and they use, as I say, these jambu air, but you won't find those in the US. So. And I can't remember what it's called in Bahasa Indonesia, but this is called jicama in Spanish and American English. Put that in. Now this this can then be served with the sauce on the side, but more often I've seen it with the sauce mixed in. So in goes our sauce. And if I find I need more sauce, I will make it. And then we'll stir so that everything is mixed in and coated. And this is sort of the minimum amount of sauce you want on this. Most people would probably add more sauce, but I think this will actually be okay. I'm going to scrape out the last little bit of sauce out of my cup. Throw that in, and then I'll take some photos and we'll do a taste test. And now for the taste test. So, the peanut notes really come through. With the one cabai rawit I added, there definitely is some spice. The fruit flavors blend with these very nicely. The textures are great. This is very nice. So if you like this content, you'd like to see more of it, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have anything to say about this video, I'd love to hear from you. If you're watching on YouTube or Patreon, recipes in the description. And if you'd like to support this channel, please do so with a YouTube membership or Patreon membership once I get a couple, or even one. I'll start doing some live streams where we can talk about and improve fundamental skills as well. So, bon appetit. See you next week.